All right, we got Jack Attack, Jackie Chan working. I actually am getting a little video. We've had a really lovely session just in the neighborhood, working off some distractions. There's some people out and about, dogs walking, kids playing at the playground. But we stopped over, we're like on the way home, and behind this fence right here is a big German Shepherd that makes a lot of noise, and he actually sometimes will throw his body at the fence, and it can be a little scary. And so I'm not walking right on the sidewalk, but I am working him just in this dead end street right here. So Jack Hill, he's on a long line, and so we primarily set out on this little walk, this little adventure, him and I, to make sure that he's understanding e-collar with less leash. So this line is pretty thin. It's got a tiny little buckle. Good job, buddy. And what happens is when we get to this stage is we start to put a little bit more responsibility on the dog to resolve the training tools. And so the leash can help if we need to, if he gets confused, because we use a lot of leash in the beginning stages, especially teaching e-collar. I never want to use the e-collar in the beginning stages without leash and without food. But now he's to the point where he's starting to understand it. This can be really helpful if we're going to be have him in any kind of off-leash scenario. He's not quite ready for full off-leash, but this is the foundation work for it. And if he's like, gets out in the front yard or something and he has his e-collar, he has the understanding of how to complete the process. But as we've been working this, we've had a really lovely session. This dog, I don't think he's going to go off anymore. We're a little less novel to him, but he started to make Jack obviously really uncomfortable and really nervous, and Jack got flighty, so he wanted to flee the scene, which that doesn't surprise me. He's not a dog that wants to, fight back on anything, but he is, if something spooks him that way, especially a big aggressive sounding dog, his instinct is to run away, which isn't a safe thing. And so what I'm doing is teaching him how to resolve the fear. So he's still working on that treat. Good boy. So he tried to run away, but he's still attached, right? And so Jack he learned, okay, well, that doesn't really work. And sometimes I'll let them try that. That's what's kind of nice about the long line is they'll try the flight method, realize, good boy, doesn't really work, but what does work is when you heel with me and pack in with me. We've just got kids and other dogs, so we'll kind of work this in real time. Jack, heel. Good boy. So we got other dogs over there. Jack, heel. Good. And I actually like having a little bit of space when we get to the point where we're understanding e-collar, because he's making more of a commitment to come back to me. Heel. The whole family affair. Very distracting. So all I'm doing with e-collar is if I lose focus, I step away, then the button comes on. He says, "Can I go with them?" Good job. And cute little kids. So they also have a dog, though, and there's the barking. Heel. So now e-collar comes on. Good job. And then it goes away once he starts to commit. So it's actually helping him check in a little bit more when he's distracted, when he's afraid. But I like the stimulation of the e-collar to be outside of my space, because this is my seat belt. So I unbuckle, right? Beep, 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 beep. My car's yelling at me. He gets back in. Click, relief. Noise goes away. So it really can solidify that this position feels better to the dog. So right there, I put the stim on. Once he comes back into position, it goes away. If I feel like he's a little distracted and not really paying attention, I might test him. Good job, buddy. We're popping up on the sidewalk because they're getting in their car. We don't want to get hit. But really good things. And then when I stop, he's super checked in with me. I'm going to give him some food, which he's taking. So that also can be a little bit of a barometer. So the dog barking, there's a couple other dogs walking by, a little bit unsure. But because he's taking food, that tells me he's recovering from that stress. If a dog is stressed enough, they're not worried about eating. They're worried about self-preservation. So the nervous system can make us not hungry in that way as a defense mechanism. And so I'll tend to work some of this negative reinforcement first and then get him in a nice headspace and then bring in the positive reinforcement. So it can be really helpful for him. He's taking these. We're just sitting off of this fence. Now, the worst thing I could do is let him flee the scene of the crime, the dog barking at us, and then we just try to get through our walk, white-knuckling it as we go. But what's going to happen is the next time we pass barking dogs, he's going to remember that, and his nervous system is going to get all crazy. And then we keep doing that cycle. He never learns any coping skills. And this is how we cope. As you pay attention to me, good things happen. Good job. Nice and calm. Really, really a lovely session with him today. So I'm proud of him. He's doing good.